Alright guys, today we're going to be trying to work on our railing for our deck. And so what I've got done is I've got each section measured, and I've got a couple of 2x4s cut to each width for the top and bottom. So now I got to cut the sides that are going to attach to the posts, and they're all going to be the same size. They're going to be 36 inches. So I'm going to cut those out, and then I'm going to show you how this is all going to come together. Alright guys, so here's what we're looking at. So like I said, I have all the cross bracing cut to length. I measured it out, and now we have to figure out what our height is going to be. And I have 40-inch welded wire here, so I cut this to 38 inches because we got inch and a half, so you got 38 plus 3 inches, so you got 41 inches, because I want it to be, I want it to be a little bit of a overlap, but I don't want it to stick out. So hopefully it runs kind of towards the center of this board when we lay it out here. And when I went to the store, I found this. You could just use regular welded wire, and that's what I had on there before. But I found this rabbit guard welded wire, and the thing that makes it really interesting is it's got this different look to the bottom of it. It's got a lot smaller holes on the bottom, and then it gradually works its way up to regular welded wire, and I thought that would look pretty cool. So I'm going to put that on the bottom, and so we're just going to staple this to the outside here to this board, and then we're going to come over, staple it to this side, and we'll see how that looks. So there you have it. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to staple it down here, because this is going to be showing. But I'm going to go out there and mount this one and see what it looks like. Here's why you do it one at a time, guys, because this isn't even close. It's way too tall. It's a good 4 inches too tall. So that's alright though. That's going to make it easier, and it's really what I should have thought about before. We're going to make this shorter, and then we're going to be able to take the top of the welded wire and wrap it on the top and wrap it on the bottom where you can't see it. So that ought to work actually pretty good. But yeah, we're going to take it back apart and then cut these side pieces shorter. So we'll get to that. Alright, so we took 4 inches off, so now we got to figure out our spacing. I think this is going to work. And so what we need to do is we're just going to cut right here, so that way we can fold this down. So we get a cut on each end, and then we can fold the end down and then staple to the bottom, and then we'll do the same thing at the top. Should be good. So then we'll try to mount it and see what we got. Yeah, I got a good feeling about this, guys. So we got it wrapped over on the bottom, wrapped over on the sides, wrapped over on the top. The posts are going to cover each side, so you're not going to see the staples on each side. And then our cap for our railing is going to be on the top, so you're not going to see that. And then obviously you won't be able to see the bottom. So it's going to give it a really nice clean look. And it's going to be pretty strong, I'd say. So, take number 2. Let's go and try to mount it. All right, so there it is in place. I love it. You have to do some manipulating, on these posts because they're warped. These have been sitting out for a while, and some of them are old ones from the deck. So. But that's why it's good to do it this way, so it'll kind of pull them all square and hold them there, and they won't warp like they did on the other setup I had. So I had to clamp these together a little bit before I screwed them, but wasn't a big deal, and it looks good. I think you got this nice clean look on the edges. And then just to give you an idea here, take this old deck board, and then the old deck board will cap it like so, and that's what it'll look like. So now we just gotta repeat the process about 15 more times. So it's gonna take a while, but we'll get to it. Alright guys, here's where we're at. Sorry I'm not getting a lot of this on camera, but it's just taking forever. So we're starting to lose daylight now, so I think I'm going to call it a day. But I got 4 panels up, and I'm really liking the way it's looking so far. That's what we got. It's just having to remeasure some things and do a little bit of cutting here and there, and trying to get everything decently squared up. And so far so good. I'm really liking the way it's looking, and I think whenever we cap it, it's really gonna turn out nice. So we got 4 done, and then we got 8 openings left and 2 gates. If I still do that, I might just put 1 gate. Still haven't decided, but that's gonna be it for today. So I'll skip it over to the next day. Alright guys, here we go. We're all done with our panels, and I've decided to leave an opening here and an opening here. And I think that works really well. Garden hose there. And I'm not going to do any gates for right now, so we'll see. So the last thing to do really is to top our handrail. And what we're going to use is our deck boards here. And I already have some of these cut because they're from the old deck board, or from the old, railing. And it's just going to lay on top here. And then at this end, we're going to cut 45s on both of these. And we're going to come up from the bottom, and we're going to screw up through the bottom, so you aren't going to be able to see any screws on top. And the only thing that we really have to do is I'm going to make sure that all the seams line up with these 4x4s. So if I run out of board, instead of running it to here, I'm going to cut it, run it to here. And that's because we've got these lights that come off the old hand railing, and they're in pretty rough shape, really, but some of them are all right. And so these are going to go on top of where the 4x4s are, like that, and they're going to kind of hide that seam. So, and they'll do the same thing over here on the corner. So we'll just make sure that our seams line up with our 4x4s just for the looks of it. So we'll go ahead and get that going. Alright guys, there you go. All completed. Got the toppers on and looking good. Got a few loose screws to finish up and got a heck of a mess to clean up. But I like the way it turned out. I think it's really going to be great. So thanks for watching.